ECLIPSER, Mr. Eclipser is here! Freedom, or whatever. Oh, God. Oh, what am I doing with my life? Anyway, you know me, Nate Jackson, the Eclipser. Here to review part 2 of the Eclipse series number 9, The Delirious Fictions of William Klein, Mr. Freedom. Definitely a lot better, a much better movie than Who Are You, Polly Magoo. And I want to thank Criterion 8 for filling in for me. I was trying to recuperate from how bad that was. Oh my God. Like, I didn't think. I thought Criterion 8 had all that shit taken care of, but how dare Eclipse put that on me? I just couldn't do it. So I apologize that I was not there to talk about that Polly Magoo crap. But I couldn't. I needed some time. But he reminded me that sometimes when Criterion or Eclipse put out trilogies, the middle one is usually much better than the first one, and the last one's usually complete utter dreck. And so I took it in that. Apparently the Carl Theodor Dreyer set in the Criterion Collection, I guess, was Day of Light is blah, but Ordette's really good and Gertrude is horrendous. And same thing with the Ingmar Bergman trilogy. The Through a Glass Darkly is pretty bland, and Winter Light is okay, but then The Silence is horrendous. So I guess I had that model to look at. And so far this one's actually not horrendous. It's bad. Don't get me wrong. It's pretty terrible, but it's not like, at least there's a plot in this one. 1969, 92 minutes, color Monroe, 1.66 to 1 aspect ratio. So compared to that other crap that I'm not going to talk about, this has a plot, and it's a little more political. And the big problem with this movie is that it could be made today, and everyone would get it, or no one would get it, or everyone would get it. Basically, it's about this superhero named Mr. Freedom, who is this guy who wears like football, like red, white, and blue football gear, and he runs around and he shoots anyone who doesn't believe in freedom. At the beginning, he shoots a bunch of looters for looting, and he finds out that, I guess, his Dr. Freedom, who played by the great Donald Pleasance, who is like the only really good thing about this movie, plays his boss, who sends him over to Paris because, I guess, the communists were attacking Paris from Switzerland, and so he goes over there to save Paris because they were our allies. They're the U.S. allies and all that, and so they ends up going over there and teaming up with Marie Madeleine, played by Delphine Seyrig, who I think she was in another. I believe I recognize that name. I know she was in another Criterion movie. In fact, while we're talking, I'm gonna go and look that up. And so he falls for her, and they get together, and he has a moment of crisis when her son calls him a fascist, and he basically almost goes more or less comatose until she feeds him cornflakes, and he's suddenly better again. And he's ready to fight, and he's ready to bomb. I guess France is accepting. I think France was accepting the communists or something, and so he ends up bombing different places in France until they realize, and all in the name of freedom. And it kind of dawns on you that Mr. Freedom is a bit of a fascist, And at the end of the movie, he ends up dying, and he ends up blowing himself up or something, or dying in an explosion. And Dr. Freedom is singing, tells him sing on, even though he's like weak as hell. And so it's a bit of a satire, but it's also it's also sort of a bit of a cautionary tale. Again, Serge Gainsborough, of all people, is in this movie either. So anyway, what was she in, Delph? Delphine Claire. See, I know she was in something. Oh, so she's in a bunch of movies, ones we haven't seen yet, like Jeannie Dielman 23 Croix du Commerce, who's I think that one's coming up. Oh, she was in The Discreet Charm of the Bourgeoisie. That's where I know that name from. Criterion, he told me about that movie. Yeah, so there's a bunch of Criterion movies. Stolen Kisses. Oh, she was in Who Are You, Polly Magoo? Oh, I wasn't even paying attention. I'd slipped in and out of whatever. Anyway. So, Mr. Freedom. A better movie than Polly Magoo, but still crap because Klein just doesn't know how to, he needs to pop a Xanax or something and just chill the fuck out. Good God. I mean, like, I get it, and there were parts where it was entertaining, but it wasn't good. That something, just because a movie's entertaining doesn't mean it's good. I think you can get the joke, and still not enjoy it. It's like a joke that runs on for 92 minutes too long. That's basically it. So, Mr. Freedom, I give it. It's not terrible, but it's not great either. I'll give it a D+. It's like, I get the joke, but there's better ways of doing it. And he uses the N-word, so fuck him. So William Klein's Mr. Freedom, D+. Yeah. So anyway, that's it for today. Tomorrow, the final part, the model couple. And if it's anything like the model that we've been using, Criterion has been using for trilogies, you may see him tomorrow again. So anyway, that's it for me. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you all tomorrow for, well, hopefully I'll be there for the model couple. And until then, goodbye.